Well, guys, I think it's actually time that I actually address the shooting of two National Guardsmen yesterday in Washington, D.C. And by the way, happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there, in America celebrating Thanksgiving. One of my favorite days. I'm actually smoking the turkey right now. But I definitely had to talk about this. Now, I held off on talking about this yesterday because there was conflicting reports, mainly on the status of the two guardsmen. Reports were actually coming out that both of them were dead. And then we find out that's not the case. And as of right now, as far as I know, they're still in critical condition. I believe one of them is actually a woman. I think the other one is a man. And also, I was waiting on the identity of the person that shot these two guardsmen. And then we find out that this person is an illegal alien. Now, he didn't come into the country illegally. He was actually a part of Biden's disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. And he was allowed to actually come over here into this country. And in return, he shoots two of our service members, folks. Yeah, this is a problem, man. Something's telling me he probably wasn't vetted properly. Would that shock anybody, considering the amount of people Biden led into this country? Folks, I feel very, very confident, man, that the history books are not going to be kind to Joe Biden. And they shouldn't. Because this man opened the floodgates. Afghanistan was a disaster. And he brought back people, obviously, that were not vetted. Now, President Trump has said that right now, I believe they're reviewing like all Afghan nationals that want to come into the country. And also the ones that are already here. Yeah. And I think we should. Now, could this individual have been inspired by left-wing Democrats? Probably so. Probably so, man, because remember, the Democrats, man, they have been anti-military. They've been anti-National Guard, coming into American cities. They hate it. Of course, you got all Nazi comparisons and all that other stuff, man. Dangerous stuff, man. Absolute dangerous stuff. Now, let's go ahead and get into this, guys. Here we go. Right over here. Afghan national suspect in National Guardsman shooting. And his name is Ramanullah. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Lakenwal, a 29-year-old Afghan national, has been identified as the suspect in a shooting of two National Guardsmen in Washington, D.C. Multiple law enforcement officials confirmed to CBS News that the suspect in the shooting of two National Guardsmen is 29-year-old Afghan national Ramanullah Lakenwal. The suspect used a handgun to carry out the attack. Two law enforcement sources told CBS News. Lakenwal reportedly entered the United States in 2021, most likely as a result of Beijing Biden's botched pullout of American troops from Afghanistan. And we got some confirmation, guys, that this guy was working with the CIA when it came to Afghanistan. And check this out. Bill Malugin of Fox News also reported that Lakenwal's permission to stay in the U.S. expired in September. And he has been in the country illegally since then. Yeah, he's an illegal alien, folks. He's an illegal alien. Now, if it was actually up to me and he goes to trial, he's convicted, I believe this man should actually be put to death. I really do believe that, guys. I know that the two guardsmen are still alive. Will they actually make it? I don't know. One of them actually got shot in the head, folks. And there's a picture out there. It's gruesome. Blood on the ground. Even if this person survives, I highly doubt they'll ever be the same again. But I'm not really sure. I believe one of them got shot in the neck. The other one in the head and chest, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, quote, per multiple federal law enforcement sources, the suspect in custody for the shooting of two National Guard soldiers in D.C. is an Afghan national who entered the U.S. on September 8, 2021, as part of the Biden administration's Operation Allies Welcome in the aftermath of the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, per Malugin. I'm told his permission to be in the U.S. expired in September of this year, and he is now in the country illegally. I have a name and a date of birth, but I'm waiting for further confirmation. Wow. This is crazy. Now, as of yesterday, it said 3 people were shot, including 2 National Guardsmen, because we know that the suspect got shot as well, and he's going to survive. And President Trump, man, has called for this guy to pay the price. Let's just put it like that. Unreal. Now, over here, man, this is a picture here of the shooter. Right there. Benny Johnson puts out the Afghan national terrorist Rahmanullah Lakenwal, who shot members of the National Guard near the White House, worked with CIA as a member of a partner force in Kandahar, Afghanistan. That's a picture of him right there, guys. Yeah. And now when it comes to Democrats, you know what? Maybe he was actually inspired by the rhetoric like you're going to hear right here from Alyssa Slotkin. Because she just made up that National Guardsmen were going to start shooting Americans. Could he have been inspired by rhetoric like this? Listen in.
Look at these videos coming out of places like Chicago. It makes me incredibly nervous that we're about to see people in law enforcement, people in uniform military get nervous, get stressed, shoot at American civilians. It is a very, very stressful situation for these law enforcement and for the communities on the ground. So it was basically a warning to say, like, if you're asked to do something, particularly against American citizens.
See, this is dangerous stuff, folks. This is dangerous stuff. Remember, she was actually a part of that video, basically telling members of the military to defy the orders of the president. Yeah, these people, man, are traitors. They're traitors. Now, look here. I believe this is one of the victims here. Says the 2 National Guardsmen remain in critical condition, and this is from Eric Doherty, by the way. Still fighting for their lives after being shot by an Afghan in D.C. It's been nearly 16 hours since shooting, and they're still pushing. Pray for a miracle. And that's a picture of him right there. Apparently he was shot. And we did have the names of them. I thought it was right here, but I guess it's not. And also I got to be kind of careful here, because there is a picture of one of the guardsmen down on the ground and bleeding. But this is a picture right here of the suspect, because he got shot. That's a picture of him right there getting put into the ambulance right there. Death penalty, folks. Death penalty. I know it's not going to happen, but he deserves it. He absolutely deserves it. Look at this stuff, man. This is other crazy stuff here coming from the left right here, guys. Listen to this. Democrats and activists claim the National Guard is rounding up black people up and putting them in detainment camps. And none of that stuff is happening. Listen to this BS rhetoric here.
We believe that the National Guard and the military occupation is the first step into rounding black people up and putting them in detainment camps here in Washington, D.C. and around the United States of America. We believe that.
Yeah, that's BS. And he knows it. And why is this guy flying another country's flag in the background? Unreal. Absolutely unreal, man. And this guy right here compared the National Guard to Nazis, guys. Listen to this.
Actually, what the president is doing through the Secretary of Defense is creating units, official military units, to, quite frankly, watch the American people. And that's the thing that is absolutely abhorrent. It reminds me so much of what happened in Germany in the 1930s. Actually, what the president is doing through the Secretary of Defense is creating units, official military.
Yeah, this is ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. And now, 2 National Guardsmen have been shot by an illegal alien. And this guy knew he was illegal. He should have been out of here in September. And this is a targeted attack, folks. He walked up to the National Guard and started shooting. He targeted them. Unreal, man. Absolutely unreal. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we will catch you next time.